Write a piece on women's empowerment.
But let me go ahead and invite us to get started. Dr. Gangalaxmi Patnaik, would you like to open up the festivities and bring us your poem?
Yes, sir. Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Gangalaxmi Patnaik from India. Want to highlight about the plantation of trees on the occasion of Environment Day to save the environment. The poem runs like this. Title of the poem is Love Witness. Title of the poem is Love Witness. On that day, we climbed up the tree to inhale fresh air, to breathe in freely. On that day, we climbed up the tree to inhale fresh air, to breathe in freely. We laughed madly, his breath wafting mine, my breath inflaming withered leaves, sticking to his eyebrows. We laughed madly, his breath wafting mine, my breath inflaming withered leaves, sticking to his eyebrows. Leaves whisper, not yet speak of love. Branches reach to sky above. Sunlight filters through their dance. Find our love talks. Leaves whisper, not yet speak of love. Branches reach to sky above. Sunlight filters through their dance. Find our love talks. Seasons change. Trees remain through storms. Wind, sun, rain, our conjugal love witness. Seasons change. Trees remain through storms. Winds, sun, rain, our conjugal love witness. How long he and I were there on the tree, I do not remember. How long he and I were there on the tree, I do not remember. But very sad, these days there are no trees, hence no climbing either, no love on tree neither. But very sad, these days there are no trees, hence no climbing either, no love on tree neither. I could not listen the sweet love songs of trees that roll off their branches and echo out to all of us. I could not listen the sweet love songs of trees that roll off their branches and echo out to all of us. Thanks, friends, for your patience and attention towards the poem. Thank you.
Very beautiful.
Let me welcome our hostess, Saraswati Poswal.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much, sir. Good evening, good evening. Good morning, good evening. Namaskar, Satsikalam, salam to everyone. Thanks for joining and wonderful poem, Gangalakshmi ma'am, as it was Environment Day and you present the poem according to the theme and the day and very informative as always, usual.
But I missed you.
Brilliant job.
I missed you. I missed you.
Wonderful. Give her a big hand of applause, friends, for her lovely poem. Yeah, welcome everyone. And I'll move ahead with another poet of today's. Yes, I'll call upon our next guest for today's for sure. Yes, Dr. Roopali Sarkar Gaur ma'am from Meerut. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Saraswati, and Richard, and everybody else who's here. So happy to see so many wonderful faces and listen to poems. I'm going to read a poem that I wrote. I've been trying to write since yesterday. Now, I read a folklore. We have a state in the northeast of India called Manipur. Now, Manipur is, a place which is very lush and beautiful, but very few people really know about it. We don't take much interest in the people of Manipur. And there have been a lot of, and the women are extremely strong there. There's a huge history of, women participating in all kinds of protests and so on, which I can read next time. But I found a beautiful folklore. Now, since it's a very lush and it's a tribal country too, with a lot of tribes, many different types of tribes, and then there are lots of interesting folklore. So there's one folklore, and this is the story of Tapta, the raindrop monster. Okay, it's a very short one. And I've been so taken up by it that I've been literally calling up people and telling them this story, but I wrote it down as a poem. So this is called Tapta, the raindrop monster. Now this is Tapta, tap, 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 the raindrop falling. So a child was crying a lot and wouldn't sleep. So the mother kept trying to scare the kid to sleep. Now the kid wouldn't sleep. So finally he said that tap, 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 the Tapta is coming to catch you. And the kid got so scared, it went to sleep. So once upon a time, in the lush green land of Manipur, a jewel in the crown of Mother India, Tapta, a monster, was born out of the sound of raindrops on rooftops. A mother cooking in the chakchang frightened her weeping child to sleep, and a hiding tiger and a thief began with fear to leap. In the stormy, dark night, the frightened horse thief rode the tiger, and the tiger, thinking it was Tapta, ran till breathless dawn broke over the sloping verdant hills. The hunted horse thief, mistaking the tiger for Tapta, jumped high up, catching the low-hung branch of a passing Unangetho tree. I've used a couple of words from the Manipuri language. A running tiger surprised Mr. Bear and Mr. Fox, who stopped him to hear the Tapta monster story. Adi das pubi you, the curious bear shouted. Take us there, the fox yelled in English, and tying themselves together with a rope, they ran with great hope and fear to see the Tapta monster. The horse thief hid in the tree hollow, afraid the Tapta monster will come and swallow. Dragged speedily through thorny bushes, tore Mr. Curious Fox into many pieces. So they just tied themselves up and they ran around looking for the Tapta monster. Now, there is a moral to this folklore. It says ignorance causes fear. Ignorance causes fear and belief in the unknown. This is what we learn from Tapta, the tap-tap raindrop monster story. So you have the tiger and you have the imaginary monster and you have a tiger, and they all begin to believe that there is something dangerous and horrible. And I think this is what we do with people also. When we're ignorant about people, we are suspicious, we are afraid of them, we think they're going to do stuff to us. So these folklores are deeply entrenched in the psychology of people. So I just found it very interesting, and I thought I'd write about it. Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Wonderful and exciting, ma'am, as usual. Wonderful. Like, I was in a fairyland, and, I just literally thought about my granddaughter so that I can share such kind of poem with her. So lovely. We always make her sleep like this, like monster is coming, he's hidden behind the curtain, he'll come, and that kind of feeling gave. Give her a big hand of applause, friends, for her lovely poem as a masterpiece she has presented to us. Keep writing and shining, ma'am. Our best wishes are with you always. Now I'd like to call upon our next guest for today is, yes, Laura Grevel. Laura Grevel, ma'am, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. And this poem fits the theme of the Tapta monster, a metaphor that people can stir up. Well, people have stirred up fear about certain things in my country of origin. So this is called Unite These States. Unite these states tormented, where the yellow flag of warning raises a beady serpent stare under the creaking golden arches, waving a shock of human hair, where the stars and stripes have fallen on shores of rocky shame, and the homeless pick the bones of whales and bales of blame, where the purple mountains manically ran off with the fruitless plain, raising tribal antipathy, not pride in the human family. The red, white, and blue sails lonely in the wake of anger, pride, and fear that braid a burning rope. Oh, unite us, flag of emigrants. Unite New York and Galveston, the ports of call of old, where thousands once arrived in shivering fear and hope, where states of courage flocked, fleeing terror, want, and war. Unite us, flag of Americans. Unite the stripes and colors that dance above our heads, the white of empath clouds, the blue of truthful skies, the red of pulsing blood. Relight the torch that liberty holds high on trembling frame. Relight the search for synergy on streets that brim with rage. Invite the lost poor wanderers to rest their bodies down on states of generosity, to clothe themselves in singing on states of greenest grass. Invite our divided citizens to build a people bridge, to cross the rocky road, to span our gifted differences. Relight, rebuild democracy, so liberty stands strong-legged on soil that spouts integrity, so justice marches with confidence through cities cheering victory, and lead the march to brotherhood, and lead the march to sisterhood, to the states of united minds. Thank you very much for listening.
Bravo, bravo.
So wonderful. Give her a big hand of applause, friends, or Grevel ma'am, for a lovely presentation. Richard sir, would you like to say something?
Yes, Laura always has such a wonderful mix of practical reality and myth. Just a delight as always. Thank you so much, Laura.
Thank you. Thank you once again. Keep writing and shining. Our best wishes are with you, ma'am. Now I'd like to call upon our next guest for today. Yes, Molly Joseph, ma'am. Molly Joseph, ma'am. Welcome.
Yes, again, so happy to be with you. Yesterday was World Environment Day, and then we had a few poems on it. And especially when I think of the pristine experience I had with Mother Earth and nature's children at Kenya, I would like to read to you the poem of my hands-on experience of reality, just as Laura is focusing on what is going immediately around and is giving the right exhortation to the people. So here I bring to you a raw reality. It was in Kisi University where we were invited for the poetic thing. And then they took us to those races, Grigori races and their huts. And what do I find there? I give you the pen picture. Yes, I hope I am audible enough. Yeah. Am I okay with my voice?
Yes,
Yes?
we hear you well.
In your earthen hut, let's catch it. Inhaling the earthy feel, I stand smelling cow dung. Flecks of sky peeping through the corrugated bamboo reef, covered with thin sheets that break up. The daughter of the soil, how close you are to Mother Earth, than be the stray peeper in. O young teenage mother, you toil day and night in your yards, tending the swaying sugarcane to make a day's eager living. Your poultry smell wafts in. The mother hen I find, mindful in her scratch to search feed for her kids, cackling, becking it to them who huddle around. A courtyard, an ensemble of a woman's struggle to sustain life, to fill up hungry stomachs. The men who enforced maternity on you half left berserk, shedding away a past that only frustrates. Yes, be it is the cut sugar cane you offer, my naive, generous host. But sore it is the thought how much you struggle and suffer, while at the other edge we bask in plenty, wasting away only to complain. So this was the answer to reality I felt while I was in Kenya. And then, mind you, she was below 20, that girl. She was carrying already with a womb, plus 2 children nearby. The guy who married her had left her. Imagine. He had gone for better fortune, taking to drinks or friends. So nature, in all its pathetic, poignant reality, this is what happens in another part of the world. Tears. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, very painful. The presentation was so good, and your spark. Give her a big hand of applause, friends, for such a wonderful poem. And this is amazing. I would like to congratulate you for such presentation and such a lovely piece for the society you're presenting. Thank you so much for your kind words. Give her a big hand of applause, friends. Keep writing and shining, ma'am. Now I'd like to call upon our next guest for today's Mausumi Halder from Haridwar. Mausumi Halder.
Good evening, everyone. My special thanks to Saraswati Poswal ma'am and to the entire team of Sargam for Literary Interactions Poetry Platform, and my special good evening to all the guests present here. Today I'm going to recite one poem on the occasion of World Environment Day, which was yesterday. It is about how the simple green grass teach us about humbleness, contentedness, and down-to-earth attitude, which help us in our lives long term. So the title of my poem is Look at the Green Grass for a While. Look at the green grass for a while. Sometimes it is green and flourishing, and at times it is dry and pale yellow. Wherever it grows, it teaches us to mellow down and make us humble to the core. Seek refuge in that green grass and do feel its magical warmth, a natural bliss. Sit for a while on it and introspect about yourself. You will find that the green grass is your place, a safe and secure niche, a natural gift from above. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
You're so welcome.
So wonderful. Richard, sir, you were saying something?
I was just saying that it was a beautiful piece and always a lovely addition to our work here. Thank you, Mausumi.
Yeah. Lovely
Thank you,
poem,
sir.
as usual. Give her a big hand of applause, friends, for her lovely piece, and keep writing and shining, Mausumi. And now I'd like to call upon our next guest for today's yes for show, Shyamaprasad Patnaik, sir. Shyamaprasad Patnaik, sir.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Saraswati ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. Today I'm going to recite one poem about environment. The title of my poem is Green Tree Rejuvenates. Green Tree Rejuvenates. And here it goes. Roaming around green trees rejuvenate mind and soul. Wind cascading through leaves keeps body soothingly cool. Plant more trees to nurture and care environment. Trees survive in spite of vagaries of storms and tempests. Trees teach us to remain steadfast and resilient. Amidst life's humdrum, we seek solitude of wilderness. Green trees and multi-hued blossoms enhance positive attitude. We breathe, rejoice water, and food for livelihood. Elegant green shrubs, beautiful silhouetted mountains evoke emotions. Inhaling indelible aromas of multi-hued blossoms rejuvenates brain. Clean environment uses rain, making life sustainable. Forest saves from global warming and soil erosion. Ensure zero carbon emissions, stop UV rays, protect ozone. Clean environment boost oxygen for survival of civilization. And that is the end of my poem. Thanks for watching this. Thank you.
So wonderful. We'll give you a big hand of applause, friends, for the lovely poem on environment, nature. We need to save it, and definitely we can save nature, then only we can save this human, society as well, and we can spread peace with the nature itself. Give him a big hand of applause, friends. Now I'd like to call upon our next guest for today. For sure, yes. Jayanti Behera from Orissa. Jayanti Behera.
Jai Jagannath. Good morning and good evening, all members of Sargam Literary Interaction. Especially the respected Dr. Saraswati ma'am, Dr. Gangalaxmi ma'am, Shyamaprasad sir, Richa sir, or Mausumi ma'am, or all members. Greeting and good luck to the Nobel poets. My poem title, My Mind Temple. This empty temple of my mind, you are my divine consciousness here. The essence of life is burning. I sing a song of ignorance. The moon in the sky is out at night, sprinkles a cold light. In that light, the name of the moon, I find your love. I find you in the mind's temple. I will worship you forever. Our love will remain invisible. You are the God of my heart. The essence of the mind is in the tears of my eyes. I will burn for you. You will not exist. The flame of the lamp. The storm has become a wind. Silence. Silent eyes see it, your love it is bitter and sweet. Life is in the navel of my heart. Take away, send this river of sorrow. This is my mind that is broken, becoming a worshipper. You give my mind to the temple. I will not forget you. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Beautiful. So wonderful. Give her a big hand of applause, friends. There, this was Jayanti Behera from Orissa with her lovely poem, as usual. Keep writing and shining, shining Jayanti. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your poem.
Thank
Now
you,
I'd like
ma'am.
to call upon next poet,
My lovely,
Lantern
lovely,
Carriers.
sweet ma'am, Saraswati ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Lantern Carriers, sir. Welcome, sir.
Nature's wonder. White clouds spread a canopy across my thoughts, announcing the sanctity of daybreak. The sun's gleaming rays peep through as the cool air dissipates and songbirds resonate their melodies. When the evening mist settles, I assemble the sky, pulling at the lapis lazuli of its beauty onto my soul. High upon the wind rides my longing, gathering the crimson hues of the evening's dusk. I gaze at rainbows, which, like flowers, speak of oneness in diversity, of elegance and wonder, of light. Indigo kisses the heavens, even as Cerise dances in sunsets, blends in pageantry on the crest of horizons. Ay, my beloved, so much sweetness in the light of thy delight. Let me drown in this wine to become completely thine. My heart is like a bamboo reed conversing with zephyrs of my love for you. The song bearers enchant my spirit while the waves splash. The god of sunset greets me with an illumining smile. And I have another one. Ode to Tanika. She stands regal, palms clasped against her heart in holiness, a serene gaze and soul lifted to the perennial heavens. Her slim back faces a vista of distant indigo, where sea and sky blend amidst undulating lands and gray-white clustered clouds. Her feet are massaged by green ferns among old rugged stones, embraced by foliage, wind submitting in consecration to instill a quiet stillness. Here is a queen, a swan of poise, her elegant long black dress visibly in an expanse of light. It reveals an alluring curvature across her bosom, a jeweled necklace, long black braided hair on her right, adorns her prayerful form, covering her melanin skin, arms exposed to the elements. I draw in my oar, and the landscape breathes with me. We both listening to Gaia, whispering praises to love. The lantern carrier. Thank you.
Brilliant. As usual. Give him a big hand of applause, friends. Richard, sir, please review his poem.
You know, to comment on Brother Lantern's work is almost a fool's errand. It's so beautiful. Each metaphor is a gem. You know, to pick one is just deserves the work. But I just have to say thank you always for bringing us such beauty and depth and clarity, my brother. It is an honor to even hear your words. Lucky are
Thank you.
those. Lucky are those who hear you, brother.
Thank you. I'm very touched. Thank you so much, my
Give
brother.
him a big hand of applause, friends, once again. And we are honored to have him here, always with his wonderful, magnificent, and divine words, spiritually touching us all. Thank you so much, sir. I'd like to
Thank
call
you.
upon Richard Spisak, sir, who has traveled and now he'll share his poem, his experience with us. So, how was the journey? And he has written the poem on it. Definitely, we would love to listen.
Well, it was a marvelous journey. My grandson graduated from high school, and
Oh, very
he
good.
lives so very far away from where I live. It was literally a 3 days journey to get out to the west of northern Wyoming from Tennessee. And for a change, I traveled by train, which is a very different type of travel than airplanes, each with their own challenges. But enough of that. It was good to celebrate and to see family. They live so far away, we don't see them very often. Now, in this day where we celebrate the earth and the trees and the creatures of the planet, I want to tell you a story that many of us don't know or haven't heard. The phrase tree huggers is something that's very common, and we've heard it, and it has a suggestion of respect, I think. But you know, like a lot of things that pass into common knowledge, we lose where this came from. What was the start of this? And I have to say, I salute the wise Indian culture for bringing us this very interesting tale. It seems that the phrase tree huggers comes from way back in the 1730s when this happened. It starts with the phrase "Sante ru rahe to be sasto yan." I probably didn't do the pronunciation any justice, but it amounts to the phrase, "If a tree is saved, even at the cost of one's head, it is worth it." Amrita Devi, nearly 280 years ago, sacrificed so much. It had a ripple effect on India's most vibrant environmental movement called Chipko Andolan in the 1970s. Amrita Devi belonged to the Bishnoi community. Known for its great love of conservation, Bishnoi faith respects the sanctity and sacredness of all forms of life. As the story goes, the king of Jodhpur sent his soldiers to the Bishnoi villages to cut trees to build a new palace. And the soldiers began cutting the trees. Amrita Devi, a Bishnoi woman, ran to stop the felling. She hugged a tree to protect it from the blows and begged them to stop. The soldiers asked her for a bribe. The soldiers took to violence and struck her with the axe. And when her 3 daughters witnessed the brutality, they rushed and hugged the trees as well and were also killed. Soon word spread throughout the village, and literally 363 Bishnoi who died protecting their beloved sacred trees. When the king learned, he was repentant and forbade the killing of trees. So, in their honor, and in the honor of all who respect and love trees and life, I read you my little poem called Tree Hugging Champions. That noble upright stock, strong enough to never balk, the bark protecting the delicate core, the goodness rises forevermore, the miracle of both concealed and revealed roots, embracing the earth for all its worth, the lush and living canopy, so like so many hungry dancing flags buoyed on the living air, give us sustenance in passing and drinking in our great gulps of air, of fruit, of shade, of beauty. Grant us peace and pleasure. Give us our nests that you might bless us. Thy generous shade you made, the sweet and powerful nuts, the generous fruit with seeds, but the sharp and pungent needles, how we cling to the energy you bring through and with your elegiac strength. How we are made stable by your unbending height. Your purpose inspires and uplifts. How we are taught by your flexibility in the mad and merry winds of time. That you shelter us, we are stronger. That you feed us, we give thanks. That you stand through night and storm, we too are proud and sustained. And when you fall, yet you nourish those around you. We gain grace and eternity by your life. I wish you all, you championship tree huggers, thank you for protecting the earth and all its wonderful fruit. Thank you.
So wonderful, so wonderful. Give him a big hand of applause, friends.
Yeah,
This was
Richard,
Richard
thank you for
Prasad.
bringing up this very historic movement called the Chipko movement. Chipko means
Yeah.
to hug, to get stuck.
Yeah.
And it was done, and it was a women's movement. It was the women of the village who actually participated in it. And it's a very renowned one. And of course, Vishnoy and Bahugana, Sundarlal Bahugana, they are the people who were involved in it.
Yeah.
And it's a very, I think it set forth a huge chain of such events all over the world, so that people have realized. And I think we also have, in the Indian culture, the celebration and worship of trees was to protect them. All kinds of trees are considered to be holy and sacred. Now, the reason being that that was the only way to protect. If you made a tree sacred, people were afraid to cut it. So you said that, there's the people tree, which is supposed to be all the gods and goddesses live on that tree. And it's the only tree that breathes oxygen even at night. So so this huge culture of protecting, I think, is very specific to the Indian culture.
Yes, we are
But the number
paying
of trees, the number of trees that are being cut for the sake of development, of building high-rise buildings and sanctioned by the government, people are rising against it, but it's very difficult. It's very, very difficult.
Now we are having a plane everywhere. The dust is, so much, and few places only we can find near the temple. Those sacred trees you can find, like people, like Bargad, and these trees are there only in India. So we have read about this Chipko Andolan. I remember it in 8th, 9th standard somewhere, ना रूपाली मैम, some time back. तो आज
Yes.
सर ने वो रिमाइंडर दे दिया हम लोगों को. तो चिपको आंदोलन हम तो we forgot. आज सुन के poem में तो it was like wonderful. Thank you so much, sir, for giving such a wonderful piece and for the inspiring this to keep the nature, save them, and save the trees, not to cut. But people don't follow for their self, greed. People are cutting the trees for the buildings and all, as Rupali ma'am told. It's all over the world happening, and what will happen? There will be floods and all if trees will be not there. Thank you so much. Now, anybody left?
I think
Anybody left now?
Saraswati must have a poem for us.
Yeah, Saraswati left now. I'll go with one more of my poems, sir.
Before you go,
I
Saraswati,
invite you, Saraswati, to present your poems.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. As it was a nature, environment day, I'll go with one of my poem on this. Yes, definitely on trees itself. It's like it's on old guava tree. I've written this old guava tree. That old guava tree stood still for long, very long, lasting years and years. I saw leaning towards the wall of my house as shows getting old, bended, many season after season. I saw just stood calm. When winds blow, overloaded guavas fall when unable to hold its weight. Make it easy. Once ripen falls for reason and proclaimed by the humans, birds, and insects. It's my guava, it's my guava. Only tree knows and guava. Whose fruit is this? The old guava tree gave so much of fruits, shed and shelters to many birds, krill, and many men. Now its leaves shedded and dried leaves told its untold stories because it was very old and unique. Many stories it heard from the passers-by, hiding its in its heart, getting withered with soaking pains, cannot share the stories, but can be read from the entangled stems and still yesterday, when now, which is turned in stump, left day. So it was cut one day and the stamp was left. And that old guava tree, it's a story, real story on which I have written this poem. So it happened due to some reason and the tree was cut. I was too small. So in my remembrance, that tree was there. And I don't know what was the cause of cutting the tree. I was too young and that memory came to me. I poured it in my words. Thank you so much. Enjoy everyone. Wonderful weekend, I would say. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your lovely poems. Happy weekend to you all. See you again next week with your shining, smiling faces, with your wonderful poems, and keep writing and shining. Thank you so much, everyone. Love you. Take care. Gangalaxmi, please come over and join the meeting, please, once. Say something.
This is the last session. This is the last time for our reading session. I thank the organizer, poet Saraswati Poswal ji, the founder president of Sargam for Literary Interaction Poetry Forum, for creating a platform to share thoughts through poetry recitation. Let's give applause and heartfelt appreciation to all those who contributed thoughts about folklore, about the recent environment, and about all other open themes, making the evening a grand success. Some of the moments are also very memorable about the Chipko Andolan that Richard Spisak sir has told. Actually, it is very remarkable and memorable, and there is much things to know because it gives a very good message. Thank you, sir, Richard Spisak. Thank you all.
See you again next week, guys. Love you all. Take care. Good evening. Good morning. Sat Sri Akal, Adab, salam.
thank you.
Namaskar.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, Richard. Bye-bye.